It's wet in Littleborough. It's wet by the lake, but the lake is wet, so that's insignificant. Hello and welcome to today's video, which is about the Project Nigel version 5 meetup. And it's the first one where the weather has been somewhat unpleasant, and it is predicted to stay like this all day long. But of course, this is Britain, and people in Britain are British, and we're used to it. And as much as we're not going to enjoy getting wet, I don't think it'll stop anyone from coming along. It is 9:20 now. That means that I should be expecting some people turning up soon. So far it's just me and Johnny Crook, who insisted on coming along, so much so that he made himself small enough to fit in the post. The first guests have arrived. That's good because they've arrived before 10 o'clock, which is a positive thing. Makes me feel like we are still British after all. So, brolly ready for when I have my little walk around.
About 20 minutes later.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am me. Yeah, me. And this is here. And what we're about to see are all the cars that have turned up for the meetup that I have organised for people to turn up to. Who's here? Oh, look, there's more than I was expecting. There's a, whose is this one? It's a Rover 25 with BRM seats. Has it got the BRM carpet? No. And then we have a Rover 25. That's to be expected. Is it a 25 or, in fact, a ZR? Oh, right, yes. Oh, yes, of course. It's a 25 GTI. That's yours, isn't it? It's his. Right, and then we have another 25, but a newer one, with a picture of a different car on the dashboard. It has leather seats. And then we have a car called Dave. Now this car here, this MG ZR, was originally mine. That is actually true. I bought this car many years back, and I thought the head gasket had gone on it, and I sold it to a man called Phil, and it hadn't gone. Yeah, it's been okay since, which is good news. And then, oh look, this is a German car. It's a Volkswagen Polo, owned by a young chap I've never met before, who's turned up. He knows Jake, but Jake's not here. He's over there actually. Well, he's coming over to say hello. Should we say hello to him? Hello.
Hi. It's my Polo. Ignore that there.
What?
The scratch of the...
What scratch?
My wheel there.
Well, I don't need to ignore it. I didn't notice it, to be honest.
Oh, well, that's good.
And then we have what I reckon is probably a 420 GSI, down to the GSI badge on the back. And it was the 420 that was the GSI model, in British Gladys green, with its lovely creamy leather seats. It's a nice car. It's well worth coming out in the rain for. Just over here we have a Rover 75 with yellow eyeballs. Well, extra eyeballs. This car is known as Henrietta, and known as Henrietta before the chap who owns it bought it. The rain has brought more people out than you'd think. Oh yeah. So then we have this. This was the first car to turn up, this MG ZT Tourer, brought up by Neil Gibbons and Sophie Richardson. What a lovely colour. It's Firefrost, isn't it? And then we have Johnny Turner's Rover 75 V6 manual, the one he's always banging on about. And then a rather nice looking Streetwise. Who could this one be owned by? Who could this one be owned by? Who could... Well, it is owned by a man known for his longness, his longevity, but his height. Mr. Underscore, Mr. Longman. Now this is a rather exciting car. Saab 900 Turbo. Wasn't expecting to see something like this here, but gosh, it's welcome. Isn't that a fantastic machine? I would love to have a go at this. Very much so. I would love to have a go at this car. And also this one as well. I've never ever been the fan of a Vectra, but the GSI 2.5 litre V6, something a bit more interesting, I think. Nice tailpipes, but that's not it. We also have just over here an MG ZR. Not sure what model it is, but it has the 11-spoke 17-inch wheels, so I figure this one might be a 160, but I don't know. And look at all these people stood about in the rain. Why would you do that? It does seem like a strange thing to do, to come to Rochdale to stand about in a wet yard. Anyway, there's another one. All the way from Scotland we have Alfie. Alfie's back in the yard. And doesn't he look lovely? Oh, he always did look lovely, but he looks even more lovely today. What a washout. I mean, when I say a washout, I mean the amount of water in the air, because as a turnout, it's been the best one so far. It's confusing, isn't it? How does that make any sense? You may notice as well that the bonnet in front is silver, not yellow. I was, of course, supposed to be taking Nigel, but there's really not very much fuel in it, and I didn't realise that. I don't particularly want to be making a pit stop to buy fuel. 2 little Rovers in front of me, one is a 75, one's a streetwise, and 3 little Rovers behind of me. Gosh, this is a convoy at last. It is actually a convoy. Now, the old streetwise is struggling with these hills a little bit. I wonder how many people will actually make it to the destination. The destination being Marsden Moor car park. The last time I had a meet-up at Marsden Moor car park, quite a few people couldn't find it, which is weird because it's actually very, very easy to find. But if you get it confused with Marsden itself, then yeah, you're going to end up in the wrong place. As you can see, the roads are pretty horrendous actually, and there's a chance that we're going to meet an accident that happened earlier on up here. And now I'm not in a convoy. No one in front, no one behind. It's making me feel rather lonely and sad. Sad, 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 sad. I'm a sad little puppy driving my little rover. Driving your rover in the countryside. You little saddo, what's he like? Watch out for sheep. There's an awful lot of water on the road, so I do hope that all of the chaps that's coming up here with me are being careful, looking out for the stuff. You know, driving sensibly. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Look at all that water. What an amazing amount of water. It's astonishing. It's almost dangerous. But it would be dangerous if you didn't drive carefully. Now this is where there's supposed to be a bit of a traffic jam. As you can see, there's not. I'm not going to complain because that's a good thing. And finally I can see some lights behind me again. So I'm presuming it's going to be a Rover and not a Vauxhall Vectra. Yes, it's a Rover. It's a Rover, okay. Whoa. Gosh. Now, seriously, standing water with can be really dangerous with knackered tyres. Not that I've got knackered tyres. Look at them! They're everywhere! Rovers everywhere! As suspected, we are the only cars here. Because of the weather, nobody wants to come out and hang around at the top of Marston Moor because they've got brains in their heads, unlike us lot. What an excellent show though. Well, got to question why you do this kind of thing, really. It's been a nice one, but it just isn't right without the sunshine. Probably more likely to have a proper convoy back because we're all setting off at the same time along a quiet road. I think I should make everyone a cup of tea when I get in. And I do mean everyone, because some of these lovely people have come from near, some of them come from further away. Quite a few have come from Sheffield. That's far enough. Sheffield's a couple of hours away. And then there's Neil and Sophie who've come from Birmingham, somewhere around Birmingham. And then Aaron's come all the way from Glasgow. So an awful lot of miles have been done today to come along to this meetup. Oh dear, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? That's weird because that tree was definitely not lying around on the floor beforehand, and now it is. And I don't remember any strong winds happening in between. The return of Benny Jazz Mags. Air horns. Pure evil. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's time to go now. Such a shame we had to have rain all day. No, I don't really understand this. I did my best to stay out of the rain as much as I could, but there were a couple of chaps here that just seemed to be stood around in it all the time, getting utterly drenched.